Okay, now it's this, the contradiction, no? That is to say, on the one hand, I take seriously ecology, on the other hand, superstition. But you know what I would say? No, I think I can save myself here. That precisely where ideology enters is this pseudo-personification that without, I mean, my God, my source here is somebody who, at least admitted, cannot be accused of being a communist, Al Gore, who in his book makes a very nice point of how big companies like to spread the guilt and make everyone guilty, like, do you consume, you are guilty, to mask up specifically their guilt. So all I'm saying is that no, the problem is extremely serious, but translating into the terms of these small everyday acts, which basically just feel you well, is just blurry. It's to make you feel good. It's just what I like to quote that proverbial, you know, you go to Starbucks, you pay more for a cappuccino because you are told some money will go to the poor children of Guatemala, and it's wonderful. You go on consuming, but this is the genius of capitalism. In the commodity itself, the price of your leftist, honest resistance to consumerism is included. But you pay the price so that you can say, but it wasn't only consumerism. Only against this side, otherwise I'm totally for art. That question, for this is a nice, and I hope, I like evil men, even evil women even more. I hope you meant it in an evil, cynical way, like, don't you have the same confusion beneath as Derrida does in this pathetic moralistic listing of all bad phenomena that happen today? I think it's about 1/3 into the specters of Marx. No, this list of multinational organizations, this, that. No, I claim I have a consistency because they are all strictly problems of commons. First, the three spheres of commons: commons of nature, ecology, commons intellectual property, that is to say symbolic commons, and biogenetics, which is our common inheritance, are biogenetic commons. And the last one, new forms of apartheid, only radicalizes this into the very forum of, is there a common space, are we all citizens, are some people, as Agamben would have put it, homo sacer, and so on and so on. So I think that nonetheless, in contrast to Derrida, there is a clear line. Now, what do I mean by this leftist I claim in a very traditional way, this is why provocative I mentioned those four features that are included, no? I still think, and maybe I'm wrong, in spite of all this postmodern poetry, you know how we are in autopoetic times, multitude and so on, I still am ready to inscribe myself into that, what we usually dismiss as a proto-totalitarian, millenarian legacy. You know, these explosions from time to time of this justice now, even if blood is flowing, we have to do it. I mean, I don't always agree with them. Of course, I wouldn't like to be there when the mob goes crazy and so on. But I claim this is kind of a brutal, elementary, ethico-political reaction. The point is not to abolish, the point is precisely in nuovo ordine, as Gramsci. The point is precisely, does this legacy of revolutionary terror have to remain just that totalitarian explosion, killing, public rage, or can it be stabilized in a new order? It can, and I will give you a triumphant, for me at least, example, at least if we accept the Claude Lefort, whom I still respect deeply, reading, democracy itself. Democracy is terror institutionalized. In what sense? The target of every revolutionary terror, which is brutally egalitarian, is cut off the heads of those who want to be above. But isn't it that what democracy does in this radical European sense is precisely to presuppose that the purge is done? As Lefort put it, the space of the power is empty. This is the element of terror, and then you you set up regulations how someone can, only for the time being, maybe. You know what I want to say is that this is a model example, even formal democracy, free elections, on how terror can be deprived of its destructive dimension in the sense of made, like, the empty place of power means the cuts are head off. You know, it can be institutionalized in this sense. So, in this sense, I am claiming, this is why, if one identifies by left, not only, I know history, not as much as you, of democracy, but I know that the way what left means started, I don't know, different moments, maybe English 18th century, 19th century, but even a little bit more. I would say that basic legacy, as they like to put it in pathetic terms, from Spartacus to Thomas Nietzsche and so on, I'm still ready to be part of that legacy. Admitting all its horror, I think that the task today is how to make out of it a new positive order, a little bit one step further than democracy.
You briefly referred to the difficult questions posed by some of the new, more efficient capitalist systems in the East. And I just wondered whether in relation to systems such as Dubai and China, you think that they could get to anywhere near the new leftist order that you're talking about without first going through the Western style of liberal democratization?
Okay, well, I regret that will be the last question, but there is a book signing afterwards, and maybe you can sneak one in there.
Okay.
But let's keep it.
Okay, I will begin at the end. New order, China, Dubai. First, I nonetheless would not in any way put them into the same category. Dubai is just a slave owning. I mean, Dubai is really like a bad thing, I think. Like, there I become a pro-terrorist almost. No, seriously, because you know that even the United Nations Committee formally declared that what they are doing with workers to do the dirty work is a form of slavery and so on. So, okay, now you say China is doing the same, but it's different. As for China, you know, for me, it's still an open situation. I wouldn't like to dismiss China simply as, you know, the new Asiatic authoritarian capitalism and so on. Interesting things are happening there, I was told. For example, all those farmers inland who are not part of this new booming prosperity, at least for some people on the eastern coast, are now organizing themselves.